Today, we're going to be focusing on one of the four categories and the drink that represents the category, which is the lift category, but it is the CinnaMate. That is one of our favorites. And so we are going to be talking about the benefits, what makes it work, what is in it. And we are going to pass that on to Miss Tammy Peterson. So you have the floor.
Hello, everybody. So CinnaMate, I think, is probably almost everybody's favorite. I've only met a couple of people that didn't like the flavor of cinnamon, but it is such a comforting, yummy drink. And one of the reasons why we all love it is because not only does it give us like the amount of energy we need, it gives us focus. It helps with our blood sugar. It helps with cholesterol. It cleans your lymph system. It is antiviral, antimicrobial. It is neuroprotective. It does so many things in one drink. And it does not give you, even though it has caffeine, it does not give you that jittery feeling, okay? If we want to go ahead and share that first graphic, and I can kind of explain to you why it works so good. And I don't know if you've all had it, but it is one of our foundation drinks in the lift category. It's a powder. So you do mix it in a liquid. It does not matter what you mix it in. A lot of us love it hot. We mix it in almond milk or coconut milk. You can make it cold. You can mix it with the other drinks. You can mix them all together, okay? But it helps you with so many things. And when I'm talking about these different things, think about like beyond yourself, because there's other people that you know that probably need help with this, right? Like when we talk about attention and focus, I know for me, there's a lot of ADD running around in here. So, you know, more than just me needs help focusing. So that is one of the things that it for sure helps with. If you have it right before a meeting, you can get so much more out of it, or before a study session, or your kids need it for homeschool. It's amazing. And I like that this says enhances goal-directed behavior, because it made me think about the fact that sometimes we lack motivation or don't know what to do next. Because of this, what it does with focus, it really helps you to be able to organize your thoughts, organize your life, and to think straight. Now, energy and mood, and we're going to talk about the energy a little bit, but it has yerba mate in it. And I know a lot of you have heard of it. It's an amazing drink. I know we had some Argentinian friends share it with us, and it's like what they do in their culture, but they're pretty smart because it is amazing. I can't remember the amount of amino acids that there are, but I believe this one has 15 amino acids. So just from the standpoint of our health, it's so good for us. And when it takes the yerba mate plant, it uses the whole plant. So you're not getting the caffeine like you would with coffee. When they extract caffeine from something, that's why you get that jittery feeling. You get that up and you get that down. Whereas they're using the whole plant, and that whole plant nourishes your whole body. So you're not getting that. And I know a lot of people have issues with caffeine, and a lot of people will steer clear of it. But what this caffeine does is so different, because I'm super sensitive. It just gives you an even feeling. It gives you a heightened sense of energy because they use the whole plant. And as I was researching this, it's interesting. One of our instructors was saying that what coffee does to you, especially if you're a big coffee drinker, and I know I love my cup of coffee, it makes me feel comforted, but it actually destroys your adrenal glands, especially if you're using it all day long. What it does to your adrenal glands causes, like, you're getting energy right then, right? But it's depleting your energy and your body down the road so much because of what it's doing with your adrenal glands, whereas CinnaMate actually feeds your adrenal glands. So that's one of the things that I think is the best about it, is you do get that energy, but it's not destroying your body at the same time, okay? So you saw in there that it had cinnamon, and I believe it's 3 cinnamons, and nopal cactus. Both of those are going to help you with your blood sugar. One of the things I've learned through some of these classes, I love to learn from other people, and nopal cactus is so revered in South America. It's even on the Mexican flag. It's just part of their diet. And if you ever talk to any of, you know how we all have like advice from our grandmas and come to find out like it was smart. They knew what they were doing all along. Well, all the old timers in Mexico actually eat and chew on the nopal cactus. And it's because of what it does for your blood sugar health. So interesting thing about blood sugar, when you have the blood sugar spikes and then it falls, when you are insulin resistant, what happens is it affects your overall body. Then you cannot get the nutrients that you need. And then that's why you end up so exhausted later on. And it's because of that caffeine spike or that sugar spike. It's actually depleting your body. It's not absorbing your nutrients. And then even your brain is exhausted. So this drink is going to do the opposite of all of that. And it's going to actually feed you. It's going to balance your blood sugar. So your blood sugar not being balanced does more than just make you feel weak. It, in the long run, takes all the energy out of your body. So those two things help balance your blood sugar and help with insulin resistance, which is really, I mean, even whenever it's talking about the virus right now, you know, the insulin is one of the things that's making it worse. So this is definitely something that you want on your, you know, in your little toolbox. Okay, do you mind showing the next slide for me? Okay, also cravings. When your blood sugar is out of whack, your metabolism's out of whack, your cravings are out of whack. So this is going to help you, since it's helping you with your blood sugar. For anybody that was addicted to sugar like me, that was at the core of my problem. Once your blood sugar gets balanced, you're not going to constantly be thinking about sugar. You're not constantly want to reach for something unhealthy. This is going to help you with those cravings. Okay, I think you can go to the next one and maybe even the next one after that. This is the ingredients. Okay, great. So here's some of the things it helps with. And because of what I just said, it helps with your carb cravings. There is also ingredients in this that helps with your digestion. It helps with your lymph system, which when your lymph system gets backed up, all sorts of sickness comes. It helps with your blood sugar. We talked about that. Your mental focus and clarity, and depression. So with depression, a lot of times, and for me, I know that my panic attacks and my my anxiety came on because of blood sugar drops. My blood sugar would just be fine, and then drop. And it would send me straight into a panic attack. And it would make me depressed after that. Like it would just leave me depleted. And that was because of what the sugar did. So this will help with all of that. Interesting thing, and I think Rachel might mention this, there's so much research now that shows addiction has to do with blood sugar, craving that sugar, and the cravings for what you're addicted to. Whenever you get all that balanced, it'll do the same. It'll help the cravings in that area too. Okay, so how do we drink CinnaMate? We all have different recipes. And do you want to show that one slide? A lot of us mix all of our drinks together. Some of us drink CinnaMate all by itself, and this is why. So instead of having a cup of Starbucks, that's what you're getting on the left, right? But if you reach for the CinnaMate, you're getting minerals, 25 vitamins, you're getting amino acids and adaptogens, which the adaptogens adapt to what stressors you have emotionally and physically, right? So the adaptogens, which yerba mate is one of them, are gonna strengthen your emotions and your body. Coffee will not do that. So this is one of the ways we all love it, in a hot cup of water or almond milk or coconut milk. And I personally, my favorite way is to mix it with a little cacao powder, which is actually high in antioxidants also. And so then you have a yummy Cinna Choca Latte. That's my favorite. And even if you add it with, you know, some of our other products, like if you add it with the Infatuate, oh, that's so yummy. I can give you all the recipe later. Anyway, so that's a little bit about CinnaMate. I'm sure that the other girls have plenty to add, but it is just, I think someone just wrote me a little bit ago and said it was not on her personal assessment. In my opinion, I think everybody needs it because it just overall balances you. And like last week we talked about, like Vital is the foundation. I think when you add CinnaMate and Vital together to everything, everything works better. So that's just my opinion, but I think that it really, I mean, for most of us, we would all agree with that. Anyway, I think we're going to turn it, are we going to turn it back to Rachel now?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Tammy. That was very informative. And this is one of the core products that I recommend to people when they first start their soul program. This is one that is very, very important. And so we're going to talk about the synergistic way these things work together and how powerful they are. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to share a couple of experiences of people that have them personally, or a client or someone close to them that had the experience. So I'm going to turn it over to Rebecca, and she is going to share that with us.
Well, I know that there's a lot of different success stories with CinnaMate and a lot of different reasons people take it, but one that I thought was quite powerful was my husband's grandmother, who had severe diabetes. She, a lot of times when people have diabetes, they will adjust other parts of their life so that they are healthier, but she still had tons of sugar. She had her little stash next to her chair, and she smoked like a chimney in her room. So she really wasn't interested in changing her habits or her life. And so when we introduced CinnaMate to her, we weren't really sure what to expect. At the time, she had a huge gash in her heel. She had stepped on something sharp and had just a little cut. And because of her diabetes, it had turned into this huge gaping hole. Well, the doctors weren't really able to do anything. You know, they can give you medication, but if you're not willing to change your habits along with the medication, it actually was quite limited on what it was able to do for her. So when we had put her on CinnaMate, we really weren't sure what it was going to do, if anything, because she, like I said, she just didn't want to change anything else. But we did it, and we got her on CinnaMate. We put the AC cream on too, just because she was in a lot of pain, so it kind of helped to take the pain away. She was supposed to have surgery and have them put some skin grafts on that wound. By the time her next appointment came, it was almost completely sealed. And then eventually it totally healed up with no skin grafts, no lifestyle changes on any level at all. She was very, very stubborn that way, but it worked. So for CinnaMate to have that kind of power to help with the circulation, to give the body what it needed, even though it was being bombarded with a lot of poisons for her, is incredible. So, I mean, you figure people who are trying to eat healthy and take care of their body and adding CinnaMate, the benefits to your circulatory system, your blood sugar, and all of that is incredible. And on top of it, she was also quite crabby to a lot of people. And I have voicemails that I will forever save from her. She just livened up. She was so much happier and more pleasant. I mean, it just had so many benefits on so many levels for somebody that was really physically miserable, and it was reflected in her perception of the world. So, I mean, for CinnaMate to have that much power over how she lived her life, and she was an older lady, and she ended up passing away from some other things down the road. But what a wonderful experience we had with her. So, I mean, it is a very powerful combination of herbs, and whatever recipe they've put in that box, it works.
Thank you, Rebecca. That is very powerful. You know, and sometimes we have these experiences that are really life altering. I know Rebecca's had experience with ADD, and that has really made a huge difference for someone that struggled with that also. And I know for me, we have a lot of new people on here, so welcome. But when I found Soul, I had been struggling with many things. One of those was addiction to alcohol. And I have always felt very strongly that there was a connection to blood sugar imbalances and alcoholics, because I was in and out of AA. I, struggled with it for a long time. And I just found that what people would do after they got sober is they would turn to sugar, and they would gain 30 pounds. And it was because alcohol turns to sugar, and now they no longer have that. Now, granted, I also believe it's imbalances in the brain. And so that's where Soul came in and completely changed my brain. But the CinnaMate in particular, because it was so powerful for blood sugar imbalances. And, that's the thing. What these adaptogens do is if you're too low, if you're too high, it brings you into balance. Wherever you're supposed to be, that's where it's going to get you. And so when I started on CinnaMate, it was like I could finally think clear. It like cleared my brain fog. It helped my moods, but it also helped my alcohol cravings. And that was a big, big part of my program that completely changed things for me. And I was never able to stay sober for very long. And once I started on this program with Soul, it changed me so much, and it balanced my blood sugar so much that I no longer felt I needed to numb out on alcohol anymore. It was that life-changing for me. And I have over 8 years sober now. And it was completely because of this program that I was able to balance my blood sugar, change my brain, and feel like I was in control of my emotions, my cravings, my thoughts, everything. So it's very, very powerful. So those are just a few. I mean, we could go on and on, but of course we want to keep this training to 30 minutes. So that is just like the tip of the iceberg on that. We wanted to open it up for a few minutes. If anybody has something they wanted to share about CinnaMate, or if you have any comments or questions, you can go ahead and raise your electronic hand at this time. Does anybody have anything they want to share? If not, it's okay. Oh, Lorraine.
So my husband, when you first introduced me to CinnaMate and Soul, he started taking the CinnaMate first before I did. I said, I just want the Vital. I don't need the CinnaMate. But he took it for 2 weeks along with the Vital, and he kept telling me that he didn't feel a difference. But I was like, okay, fine. Well, you should stop taking it. By the next few days after he had stopped taking it, he was like, oh my goodness, I feel so tired. And I would notice when he would get home from work, it made a huge impact on him. He was ready to help with all the kids and getting me ready. His personality changed. He had the correct amount of energy and mental focus. He just felt better throughout at work. And so he immediately noticed the difference in the products right away, especially in CinnaMate.
That's awesome. Thank you. And hello, is that Micah? Hi, Micah. He wants to participate.
Yes, he loves Soul.
Oh yeah. What do you like, Micah? What's your favorite drink?
CinnaMate.
Oh, there you go. Did your mom pay you to say that? No, I'm just kidding.
Actually, no, I like it's the chocolate.
Oh, you like Soul
Yeah.
Complete?
Yes.
Oh, that's good. Well, thank you, Micah. I love that you love Soul. That's so awesome. Well, thank you guys. Did anybody else want to share anything at all? If not, it's okay. We can move on.
There are
we
a
have
few more
hands.
Yeah, Veronica had raised her hand. There's
Okay.
3 raised hands here.
Okay, I see. Let's see here.
Rosa?
Gretchen,
Oh,
you want to go ahead?
I just wanted to say real quick, if anybody hasn't already tried CinnaMate, I had severe intestinal issues for many years. And within 2 weeks of taking CinnaMate just once a day, I went from having 3 times a week intestinal issues to having 6 in 18 months. I mean, it was phenomenal. So just in case anybody hasn't tried it, you really need to try it. That's all I want to say.
Thank you, Gretchen. That's wonderful. I know that changed your life in a big way.
It really did.
Yeah. Thank you, Rosa. Did you want to?
Hi, yeah. I'm very new at this, so we started taking the CinnaMate and the Vital. My question is like, can you take it with just a little bit of water just to get it over with? Like, I want to give it to him, and if he doesn't like something, he's just not going to take it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. We actually have a video. One of our friends, Tiana, she lives in Idaho. Her nephew has ADHD and some issues that he was dealing with, and he was a teenager, and he hated the flavors of it. So what he did is he would line them up in little shot glasses on his counter, and he put a teeny bit of water and just shoot it like it's tequila, like just go down the list of like that, and it worked for him. And you just want to try to drink more water afterwards, but absolutely, I remember there was a little boy who had autism, and he was very sensitive to the taste, so she would mix it in his oatmeal, so there were ways, and it helped him a lot doing it that way. So
Okay, and you it doesn't matter how late you take it. Does it have to be in the morning or?
well, some things could give you energy, like the CinnaMate. Some people, it relaxes them. Like if you have ADD, it could actually relax them. Whereas someone like me, it might give me energy. So you kind of just have to see how you do on that. Everybody's different.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for asking that question. Charity?
Hi. I was just going to say that it's definitely helped with my father. He got kind of diagnosed with high blood sugar, like on the diabetic. I forgot what his A1C was, but I said, well, try the CinnaMate, and he used to take it kind of here and there, but then since he's cut everything out because he went to a plant-based diet, and he's done really well on it for about a year. But he is pretty faithful now with his CinnaMate and his Soul Vital, but he definitely notices a difference, and he'll check his sugar and he'll say, yeah, I think it's a CinnaMate. He's not sure, but he's also, I think he's going to be 64, and he's really active and in construction, still working all the time, so it definitely keeps him, like, he doesn't seem like his age, and he hasn't let the diabetes affect him or anything. And I definitely he would say that the CinnaMate helps for sure.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that, Charity. That's really good. Tammy, did you have something?
Just real quick, I know we're winding up, but two of the experiences that I have are, first of all, my husband's aunt who was diagnosed with diabetes. And I don't think she started meds right away, but I had her take 2 CinnaMates a day. That's what she decided she wanted to do. And her numbers dropped in a week. She was testing it, so it really acted fast. So for me, I went to the doctor last year and it was a little elevated. And so within the next 6 months, I told him, okay, I'm gonna be taking 2 of these till then. And when I went back, I was back in normal range. So that was good when diabetes, but also something I did not cover is cholesterol. My husband's cholesterol was high, and Excel, our other drink, definitely helps with that. But I had read in one of our experiences page, when you add in CinnaMate, the 2 of them together will definitely drop your cholesterol, and his dropped so much with those 2 within his 6 months of testing. So anyway, both of those things were helped with us personally.
Awesome. That's powerful. Okay, so we have Lori over here, and then Elena.
I'm trying to unmute.
You got it.
Okay, there we go. My question is, with the CinnaMate, what is the maximum dosage, because I was just doing one a day. But I can't say I really saw anything dramatic in those 2 months. But on the flip side of that, I had kind of I can't, Tammy will have to tell you, I was breaking out in hives with the Vital. And so we made I had extra, needless to say, of the Vital, and I ran out of the CinnaMate. And about 2 weeks ago, I had a major, major emotional break. And yeah, now you don't really think you're having that fabulous of a experience, but now I'm wondering if maybe that had something to do with that break, was
Mm.
not having my CinnaMate.
Would it be okay if I address this one?
I don't care.
Go
You're
ahead.
talking to me.
Yeah. I'll tell you, Lori, for me, I never really realized, I always thought it was everyone else kind of that needed help. And so it was about my son or my husband or other people. And I always thought I was pretty even, Steven, but I was on the products just because I knew it was good for me and I wanted to be a product of the product and see how I did on it. And I know the Vital at first, I had like 2 weeks of kind of like a detox with it. And the CinnaMate, I really love it, but I didn't realize what it was really doing for me until I stopped. I just didn't take it. This is a long time ago because I won't run out now. And I'll tell you, I forgot what I felt like before because it was kind of a gradual process of feeling better and clearer and more just balanced emotionally. Before I used to cry probably every day about something. I was exhausted all the time. I never really felt good. And so when I ran out, I noticed I was back crying a lot again. It was the same things that I had had before, but I totally forgot what I felt like before, the anxiety and stress and sadness that I would deal with. And so I definitely think that there's a connection with that for you too, because it can be, for some people, it's very subtle. For others, it's like mind blowing, 3 days in, you're feeling amazing. But yes, I absolutely identify with what you're talking about with having some of those detox symptoms early on and then having real subtle effects. But boy, when I didn't take it, now I will never go without because I feel so much better. I feel like me again. So I do think
Well, I'm trying to find me, and but again, I've been on venlafaxine for, I don't know, 10, 15 years. And I was up to 5 pills a day. And then I was a zombie between sleeping issues and whatnot. And then when I started with the CinnaMate, and again, Tammy will have to tell you the pills I take at night, I don't fall asleep and I don't stay asleep. So I was on Lunesta, the highest dose, for, I don't know, ever since it came out. And then I also take 150 milligrams of trazodone a night to stay asleep. And that was one of the other things, is like right now I'm down to, I think I need to go off of the venlafaxine and maybe switch to a different pill, but maybe it's the CinnaMate, because I know that it has very bad side effects when you go off of it. And I'm doing this all on my own slowly. But I've also had to cut my trazodone down to 100, from 150. I just break the pill in half or however it breaks. And I still don't get to sleep very good, but we definitely found out that Benadryl was messing up my mind. And so, I mean, there's so many factors, and it's like, who can put this jigsaw puzzle together? But it seems like Tammy must be on track, because even the things that I can't put together, what you guys are telling me is it's making sense.
Yeah, well, and it's a process, Lori. You know, I think what I explain to people is it takes our bodies and minds to get, it takes a very long time to get our bodies and minds in the state that they're in. And if we have had to take medications for any amount of time, it is going to take longer to create balance, because that is fighting something that we're putting in our body that our bodies aren't designed to deal with. Now, obviously, sometimes we have to do the things that we have to do. But it is going to be a process and it's going to take time. I know people who have been on a lot of medications, and these products they're so powerful on a cellular level that it is trying to flush the poisons out. So if you're not drinking enough water, if your liver is not working properly, you could have it come out in your skin. That's how powerful these products are. But if we don't clean it out, if we don't detox, then that's how disease will come about. That's how autoimmune diseases are going to come about. So, you know, the more we learn about plants, and that's why this is so important, to try to give our bodies the nutrients it needs so it can do what it was designed to do. That's what we need to do. Okay,
So,
so thank you.
Is there a maximum amount of CinnaMate that you can take a day? Or I know it's it's considered a food, but and price, is a huge issue too, but I was just curious about that.
That's something Tammy can talk to you about after this meeting, but there are, everybody has to kind of figure out what they're comfortable with, because they are whole plants, so you're not going to OD on them. So that's something that Tammy can help you and work with you on. And I did see we had another hand, but I don't know if she left. Oh, Elena, did you have a comment real quick before we end with the raffle?
Yeah, I know, because you know you went over, but real quick, I just wanted to mention CinnaMate. I started taking it, and Lorraine introduced me to this product years back, and CinnaMate, I had a hard time because it seemed to be sweet to me, and I don't take sweets. I was like, oh, I can't take it. I used to always complain, but I take it with almond milk, and it does definitely, because I was pre-diabetic. Thanks to God, Jehovah, I am normal now in a sense, with my labs, with sugar intake. Sometimes I do take it twice in the morning if I feel, it depends on my body, but it definitely does balance. And yes, I am, somebody's concerned like, oh, maybe you're trying to addicted to this thing. You know what? Hey, I don't think it's an addiction. It's just the body needs it. But if it's an addiction, it's doing really good things for my body. It's no.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
I love that. Thank you, Elena. Well, and it's that our body craves what we need. Veronica, did you have something to say? I don't want to miss anybody. I know everybody wants to share.
I know, hurry. Sorry about earlier.
No, you're good.
I wanted to say that for me, the mind benefit of CinnaMate was what actually helped me to see that every product was what I needed. It was really amazing how it made me feel like myself psychologically, how it helped my brain. I had never felt that way ever in my life. And so CinnaMate is really special to me because, like Rebecca was saying, like she would cry every day. I mean, I remember that myself, crying as I slept. I just had these unresolved traumas and psychological things going on that I didn't even understand or even know how to process. But here are these beautiful plants that help the mind and body. It was immediate for me. I knew like I needed this in my life, and I was determined to get it. So yeah, the psychological, mental it's amazing.
Yeah,
let me say one more thing. I'm sorry, but tagging on to what Veronica just said that I did not mention is brain fog. What it does for your brain and the cloudiness in it, like Veronica was saying, is amazing. And I don't know that any of us touched on that, but I know a lot of us have it. So I didn't want to miss it because it can really help out with that.
Definitely. Definitely. Thank you, Tammy. Yes. So this one is, as we can hear, this is a very powerful drink. And when I first started it, because I love to doctor everything up, I like it like my Starbucks drinks or whatever. So I actually put half and half in it, and it was like a CinnaMate latte, and it was so good. And I would make it every morning for my oldest daughter, her senior year, because she was super moody. And she always had blood sugar issues. And that was the only thing she'll tell you, if she were here right now, she would say it. But it helped her with school. It helped her with her emotions and her moods. If she didn't have it, I could tell in her voice. And I was like, oh, great. You didn't take your CinnaMate today. But anyways, okay, so we're done with that. Okay. And she's not here, so I can say whatever. But so thank you everybody for coming. We're going to do the raffle. But first, I just want to let you guys know. So every Tuesday at 11:30 Pacific Standard Time is Product Passion. Next week, we'll be talking about the drink Renew and what that will do for us. And so invite people, everybody's welcome, and everybody will be entered into a raffle every week that we will raffle something off. And I also wanted to let you guys know that the first Friday of every month, we are doing an Introduction to Soul meeting. This is going to be explaining what's the difference with soul, why do soul, you know, some of us are specialists and we help people get on programs, and that's our career. And so we will be talking about that also. So that will be the first Friday of every month at 3:30 Pacific Standard Time, which is this Friday. It falls on this coming Friday, 3:30. And we will be doing a raffle at that one. So invite whoever you want, try to get people on there. And we will be raffling off a box of Soul Vital. Okay, so that's what we're going to raffle off this Friday. So hopefully you all can attend, and it will be educational. And, you know, we love to share how passionate we are about this, because as you can see, it changes people's lives. It's very powerful. So please feel free to join us on Friday, and contact your upline, whoever invited you here, and they can get you that link. And right now we are going to do the raffle. So I'm going to turn it over to Rebecca.
All right,
all
I'm going to get this a little bit bigger. I want to make sure I'm not missing anyone. We got a few people that came on a little bit later, and we got to make sure we're all on here. Okay, guys, ooh, that's creepy. Hang on, let me close that. Okay, we're going to go full screen and see who's winning today. Helen, you're the winner.
Yay, I win. I'm so happy. Thank you.
Congratulations, Helen. You won a bottle. Do we have that bottle anywhere? Does anybody have that bottle?
Oh, I don't have it. Yay, Helen. Congratulations.
Yay, thank you.
Yay.
And I'm drinking my CinnaMate right now, actually.
She is.
All right. Congratulations, Helen. So we'll get that shipped to you. We'll get your address and get that to you ASAP. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for joining us for our second product pack. Oh, you have it, Gwen? Okay, Gwen has it over there. That's what it looks like. And it's the Comfort Roll-On. Okay, so that's an exciting one. You're welcome. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. We really appreciate you being on, and we look forward to seeing you hopefully Friday at 3:30 Pacific Standard Time or next Tuesday. Bye, everybody. Bye.